Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for April 8, 2024. And in the news this evening, 3 held after bar robbery, firearm seizure in Manchester. Quick action by the Manchester police resulted in the recovery of stolen items, the seizure of an illegal firearm, and the arrest of 3 men. The recovered items had reportedly been taken by gunmen who had earlier robbed patrons at a sports bar in Kingston in the parish. No one was hurt in the incident, police said. Reports are that around 9 p.m., 4 men, 2 armed with handguns, held up and robbed the owner, bartender, and a patron at the bar on the Fengrass main road. During the hold-up, the men took 3 cellular phones from the victims and ripped 3 poker boxes, all valued at $1.8 million from the wall. They also took several top-shelf liquors valued at $250,000 and a bag with an undetermined sum of cash. The men escaped in a waiting black Toyota Voxy. A team from Manchester Police responded quickly and intercepted the Voxy on the Hopewell Main Road. Inside the vehicle were the 3 phones stolen from the bar, along with several items. The men were taken into custody. Further investigations led the police to an abandoned building in Hopewell District where the stolen poker boxes and the top-shelf liquors were recovered. Another abandoned building a short distance away was also searched, and a Thunderburst 9mm pistol with a magazine containing several rounds was found. The recovered items and the seized firearm were all taken into police custody. Up to press time, the men had not been charged. 2 taxi drivers shot, 1 fatally in St. Andrew. Police are trying to unravel an incident in which 2 taxi drivers were shot, 1 fatally, along Whitehall Avenue in St. Andrew on Sunday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as a 38-year-old Sean Granville from Woolby in the parish. The injured cabbie is said to be from Kingston 8. Reports are that around 4:45 p.m., residents heard loud explosions and summoned the police. Upon their arrival, the police found Granville suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the upper body. He was quickly assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he died. The other taxi driver later turned up at hospital, suffering from gunshot wounds to the right hand and right leg stemming from the said incident. He was admitted in a stable condition. The police say they are still trying to ascertain a motive for the shooting. Woman found dead on roadway in St. Anne. Police have launched a probe into the stabbing death of a woman whose body was found on Market Street in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne on Sunday night. Reports are that the woman, who up to press time was still unidentified, was about 40 years old, of dark complexion, and had multiple stab wounds to her upper body. Passers-by reportedly found the woman and rushed her to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where doctors confirmed her dead. Police investigators probing the scene and the surrounding areas reportedly found bloodstains leading from the St. Anne's Bay Transport Center. The police say further information will be made available as they continue their investigations. 61-year-old American visitor dies from belly pains at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. A 61-year-old American visitor died after complaining of belly pains while staying at a hotel in Otria, St. Anne on Sunday. She has been identified as Joan Grocia Tomlinson, an administrative assistant from Georgia in the United States. Reports are that Grocia Tomlinson arrived on the island on Friday and was staying at a hotel in the parish. Later that day, she complained of belly pains and was taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where she received the treatment and was subsequently released. It is reported that at around 7 p.m. on Sunday, she again complained of belly pains and was taken back to the hospital, where she succumbed to her ailment while undergoing treatment. Man shot dead, another injured during gun attack in Cassava Peace. 1 man was shot dead and another injured during a gun attack at a bar on Glen Drive in Cassava Peace, Kingston 8, Monday afternoon. The police said the attack is as a result of an ongoing war in the community between rival gangs. The deceased has been identified as a 33-year-old Alfina Legister, otherwise called the Reds, from Manor View Drive in the community. The injured man is also from the community. It was reported that around 1:15 p.m., Both men were inside the bar when two men, both armed with handguns, alighted from a gray Subaru motor car. The gunmen, the police said, opened the fire inside the bar, hitting the now deceased in his head and the now injured man in the midsection of his body. Lawmen said they found the legislator inside the bar, sitting on a chair, suffering from gunshot wounds. The police took him to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. A resident of the community took the injured man to hospital. He was shot in his chest and abdomen. The gunman escaped towards Mannings Hill Road in the Subaru motor car, the police said. Cornwall College mourns a sudden loss of Spanish teacher. Classes have been suspended at the Cornwall College in St. James as the school has been plunged into mourning following the sudden death of its Spanish teacher on Sunday morning. She is 41-year-old Kamika Warren. Grief counseling will be provided at the school for the academic, auxiliary, and ancillary staff. As a result, students have been asked to remain at home. School resumes on Tuesday for the boys. The news understands that Warren was admitted on Saturday at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in Montego Bay after complaining of difficulty breathing. The educator, who was the head of the Department for Spanish at Cornwall, is said to have been employed to the all-boys school for over a decade. Judge denies a bail for music producer Linval Shabdon Thompson Jr. and the co-accused. Popular dancehall music producer Linval Shabdon Thompson Jr. and his murder co-accused Tajay Clark had their renewed bail application denied when they made an appearance in the St. James Circuit Court on Friday. They are set to face a trial on January 8. The men are accused of the 2022 triple murder of 27-year-old Chadwell Fraser, otherwise called the Bomb Brain or Chad, 24-year-old Chamario Chippy Calvin, and the 26-year-old Tonian Two-Fly Reed. The deceased men were reportedly shot at a birthday party on Marl Road in Rose Heights, St. James on May 25. Thompson is being represented by King's Counsel Tom Tavares Finson, while Clark is being represented by Kadeen Coleman. When the case was called up in court on Friday, the lawyers made the renewed application on the grounds of a charge in circumstances. However, this was denied by High Court Justice Bertram Morrison, who was not convinced. The case was first set for trial last November, but hit a snag. According to Tavares Finson, two witnesses did not show up for court. The witnesses had also reportedly pointed out Thompson Jr. in an identification parade, but Tavares Finson had questions. He pointed out that there were claims that the accused men were wearing masks. Tavares Finson said information later came through the media that at least one of the witnesses was held and charged with murder in the state of Florida. This was confirmed by the prosecution on Friday. In my view, bail could be considered because of what had happened when the officers went to the scene of the murder. The witnesses had indicated that the perpetrators were wearing masks and that they could not identify them, stated Tavares Finson. For her part, Coleman agreed with Tavares Finson, claiming that while the allegations are serious, no identification parade was held and therefore there is nothing linking her client to the offenses. She also revealed that Clark requires a surgery to remove a foreign object from a section of his body. She said the surgery cannot be facilitated while he is in custody, and further details can be provided to the court if required. Besides, Coleman said her client, who lives outside of St. James, has denied the allegations and has maintained that he was nowhere near the incident when it took place. She added that her client is looking forward to his day in court, when it is expected that he will be vindicated. Coleman said her client is not a flight risk and is willing to adhere to whatever conditions the court may choose to impose. Tavares Finson, in making his bail application, said the court could require that Johnson Jr. should not be seen in the parishes of Trelawney, St. James, or Westmoreland. He also said he is not aware of any suggestions of his client being a flight risk. However, the Crown said it opposed the application, noting that the incident took place around 4 p.m. and the witnesses saw the accused men's faces. In fact, Mr. Thompson was pointed out in an ID parade by both witnesses, the Crown stated. The Crown pointed out that when the case came up in court in the past, a bail application was denied. The only thing that has changed since then is that one of our main witnesses has received some serious threats, my lord, and had to be relocated. Not only that, but it has come to our attention that even the investigating personnel in this case, my lord, is also under threat, the Crown said. However, similarly to Tavares Finson, Justice Morrison was concerned about the claims that the men were wearing masks, but the Crown argued that the witnesses saw Thompson Jr., who they knew, and were able to make an ID. The Crown later tried to clear up the apparent ambiguity by revealing that while the men were wearing masks, their faces could be seen. This is not the first time Thompson Jr. has reportedly found himself in trouble with the law. In October 2021, Thompson was charged with breaching the Corruption Prevention Act after he allegedly offered a policeman $2 million after the police reportedly found a loaded illegal gun in a motor car he was traveling in Old Harbor, St. Catherine. Thompson Jr. and his co-accused, Romario B.M.R. Scott, were charged with illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. Scott pleaded guilty last year in April and is currently serving a 6-year and 1-month prison sentence, while Thompson Jr. was freed of the gun-related charges.